Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Today we are taking a quick look at the Vanguard variants, the Harbinger and Sentinel. The Harbinger, which is straight in front of me at the moment. Pew pew pew! And what they're like in 3.7's PTU. Just having a quick tour of them, having a quick look at them. Straight away, the new variants have different skins, although it's only really at a glance that I would notice that the Sentinel was a Sentinel if I was fighting it, because it's got a different colour effectively to it. But if I looked at the others, they just sort of like got military-ish colours. The thing with the Harbinger, though, this one is that it is a rocket and a ballistic variant is the idea of the ship. So it's got the big ballistic repeater on the front. Pew, pew, pew! It is a big old cannon. And then some more autocannons at the front there. So it basically gives it quite good range, and it gives it got quite a bit of damage, but it is a lot slower firing than those guns that you might be used to on the Vanguard Warden. So sort of bear that in mind. It's also, on the top pod, got the Jericho XL rocket launchers. So a load of rockets on there. Now, rocket-wise, rockets have yet to come into their own, in my opinion. Let's jump out of the seat and have a look in the internals. But having a load of rockets, having a load of missiles, I mean, all the Vanguards have got a load of missiles. It could make it quite a powerful ship. But at the moment, it's not really amazing for me. I don't love the Harbinger on paper at the moment. And you can disagree, and that's fine. I just think a lot of balance needs to come into the game before we can rely on some of its sort of loadout. And I prefer the Warden's loadout because of that. We've got all the different compartments where all the different physicalized components will be stored. Very easy access to them in the Vanguard series, which is absolutely awesome. Same on the other side. Redundant systems as well, which is awesome. Some stuff under the stairs even. Bam. And we will get the actual components placed in here at some point, and they will be fully physicalized. As with all of the Vanguards, you've got a couple of beds. I say all of the Vanguards, not the dropship version, not the Hoplite, but with the rest of the Vanguards, we've got living area, 2 beds, little shower and bathroom. I assume you just have a poo in here if you need to, right? Oh, no. Oh, I've been doing it wrong. I never knew that was there. We've got a mirror, which almost is a mirror, but, you know, I'm a vampire, apparently. But the internals of the central module for the Harbinger are different, as are all of the central modules with the Vanguard series. We've got the access to the top turret there, but we've also got this console, which is, I believe, supposed to deal with torpedo-y type things and targeting in the future. The ship has 3 torpedoes, which is one of the things that makes it different from the other Vanguards. But 3 size 5 torpedoes in a world where there's a lot of torpedoes and a lot of different ships, and they can deploy them better sometimes. I'm not sure if it's great. But the internals look amazing. I mean, there's storage in here. You like your weapons and armor in the future. Come on, open up. Open up. Which is going to be awesome when you have physicalized inventories. Also, if someone boards you, I suppose you can close those and shoot through them as cover, like a Cunningman. We've got the quantum drive little door here. But nice, easy access for all of the systems in the ship, as you get with all the Vanguards, which is absolutely fantastic. Obviously, the rear ramp there will open up. Yeah. Go up in the turrets. All of the Harbinger's parts you can purchase separately is the idea, and put them on the turrets, put them on the nose of the other Vanguards. Let us power this bad boy on and fire some rockets. So I haven't used the rockets much in the game. They had some bad points previously when they were just on the thingamajig, pew, 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 the Delta. I didn't really like them. I just thought they were ineffective. But now we've got some interesting things with those rockets, because if the turret gun is going to be plowing rockets into people, they're quite high DPS. We've got the new turret modes, which are going to be good for actually aiming at things. And it's just... rockets are cool, in my opinion. It's just they need to be a bit better balanced for the game. But yeah, some potential cool stuff for the Harbinger. But I'm not sure if I love it or not. But it's... I like it. I think I prefer the other Vanguards. But let's check out the Sentinel, because I am very much in love with the Sentinel. So coming into the Sentinel, it is a little different. So it's got different lighting. It feels a little bit different here. We have one of these glass panels. Now, apparently these are supposed to be like written on in aircraft carriers IRL to like show planning. So they wanted to have something like that here. So the idea for the Sentinel is that it is an e-warfare and sort of disruption loadout ship. And you've still got the sort of same facilities that any Vanguard has, or at least most of the Vanguards have. A couple of beds, a little toilet and shower. Make sure you actually pull out the toilet before you have a pee or whatever. I apparently get in trouble for that. You've got the same sort of storage when it comes to munitions and armor and EVA suits and stuff. Little food area. But we also have this e-warfare console. So the e-warfare console doesn't have any function at the moment, but it should allow your ship to wreak some e-warfare type havoc, whether that's spoofing signatures or affecting people's targeting or things like that. That's the sort of idea, but we don't know 100% how the e-warfare mechanics are going to work. In the upper turret, there is a couple of changes, because we now have the Sucker Puncher extra large, not extra large, extra range Sucker Punches. Well, they are extra large, they're size 2, and they're in the manned turret, and that gives it some quite good range distortion weapons to be able to fire at things. There is some other weapons as well. It's got all the same sort of missile loadout that a typical Vanguard would have. A load of size 2 and a load of size 3 missiles. Flight ready and take off.
Aegis combat assist activated.
The ship is going to... oh no, it's not going to float downwards and hate me. That's much better. As I said earlier, so at a glance, I can tell that this is a Sentinel, because it's quite a big different shade that other ships don't really have of a colour. However, the other Vanguards, yeah, they do have different colours and colour schemes, but my brain would be like, is that the Harbinger or is that a Warden? Sort of thing. I'd forget. And that could just be me, but this is such a different colour compared to other ships. I go, I know this is a Sentinel when it comes to its livery. Obviously, ships are going to have to be painted in the future to like whatever colours you want to an extent. But you can see those Joker Sucker Punches on the top turret there. We also, for the nose, let's get out of the area here. So we've got some front weapon changes. It's an interesting odd loadout, I find, with the Sentinel again. A load of distortion weapons. So at the front, not a distortion weapon. That is an attrition, a size 4 attrition, which can actually do a lot of damage, especially when they're overheating, or near overheating. The hotter they are, the more damage they do. But on the front, we've got a load of distortion weapons on the nose as well. So distortion repeaters on the front, and then the attrition underneath it. So you can change these weapons off, and you can purchase them for the other Vanguards as well. Switch them around to your liking. It's just interesting, the sort of like different default loadouts they've got. Now, at the moment, in my opinion, the default loadouts for the Sentinel are pretty poor, because distortion weapons haven't really been properly balanced in the game. We don't have physicalized components. But it looks cool, and I like the idea of it on paper. We need e-warfare as a mechanic there first as well, really, to make the ship properly viable. But you can obviously switch out its gear if you have got one with other things that you can buy in-game from typically Center Mass. You can buy most of this stuff from on Area 18 on Arc Corp. So that's basically where I would get most of my ship weapons from. So one of the other things that the Vanguard Sentinel has, at the moment anyway, is a EMP in the similar vein of the Warlock or the Saber Raven. So on your MFD, so hold F and click on the on button where it is in your systems to turn it on. And then right click, you'll charge up the EMP. You see the EMP charging somewhat. It takes a while to charge. But EMPs don't work properly at the moment, so I'm expecting that after we have physical damage system and physicalized components, that they'll do a proper distortion and EMP rework, and then you'd have the ability to, you know, actually use EMPs effectively, and they'd be sensibly implemented, probably doing distortion damage in a large area, potentially affecting your own ship. I would expect them to affect your own ship. Maybe they won't. Maybe there'll be some reasons why EMPs sort of like systems don't affect, EMP modules don't affect your own ship. But it's very possible that the Sentinel might get this removed anyway and have EMP missiles instead, which is what the original ship was supposed to have. But it might have changed by now. We've got EMP charged at 100%. Right click to discharge. The sound isn't there at the moment, but assume that that was the sound. Perfect. But the Harbinger as well, I'm not a massive fan of its loadout over the normal Warden's loadout. I think the Warden's got the best loadout by default, but obviously you can change up the weapons to your liking. The other idea of this ships as well is that the Sentinel is supposed to have slightly lighter armor, and the Harbinger is supposed to have slightly heavier armor over the defaults, so bear that in mind as well. But in 3.7, that's basically it, what you're getting from the Vanguards. They look very similar externally to each other, because they're pretty much the same ship now. So bear that in mind when making a purchase, renting them in-game, buying them in-game, whatever. They do look absolutely amazing as ships, but they have yet to come into their own, in my opinion. And it's just that. I mean, you're going to have that with a load of different ships until they're balanced. They're not going to be absolutely amazing. They're not going to be great or working as intended. But, yeah, that's the Vanguards. What do you think? Do you like them? Do you like the new variants? Do you like the Sentinel? Do you like the Harbinger? Do you think the Harbinger should have more torpedoes? Do you think the Sentinel it will be good when it's got its E-Warfare stuff, or do you think it needs other stuff beyond that as well? I suppose we need to see the E-Warfare mechanics before we make a judgment on that, and we need to have better balance for distortion weapons and physicalized components, so distortion weapons make sense. So a lot of stuff with these ships just not ready for prime time, in my opinion. They are in game now. Oh my god, that's really dark. I wouldn't be able to see that if I didn't have sunlight bouncing on my ship. I suppose that's true of light in general. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I'm rambling. That's the one. You take care, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Please tell me what you think in the comments below, and I'd love to hear from you. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For October, it's an Anvil Carrack Explorer ship that should hopefully be flyable in Alpha 3.8 at the end of the year. Just comment on any of my videos made during October to be in for a chance to win that. There's an Aztec giveaway as well. They make cool CPU coolers. See what I did there? And at the moment, they're giving away 8 of these lovely CPU coolers with my logo on. So there's a lot of BoredGamer branded ones. I'll put a link down below for that separate giveaway too. I am also shilling for NordVPN and Shadow gaming PCs, so use the code BoredGamer for discounts there. NordVPN, in a world of censorship and privacy issues, VPNs allow you to browse the net and play games in more safety. NordVPN has many benefits over free VPNs, and that's why I shill for it. Some of you also might be interested in Shadow cloud gaming stuff. This allows you an alternative to sort of like buying and maintaining your own gaming PC. You can stream a custom Windows 10 environment to devices like your phone, a laptop, or a crappier, lesser PC, and bam, it's fantastically powerful, and it's maintained, and hardware is regularly updated for you. It's a fantastic service, Shadow. Cloud gaming certainly has quite a big future ahead of it. If you'd like to further support my channel, please consider subscribing, sharing this video, ringing the YouTube bell so you get notifications when a video goes live. This is a channel that is funded by the community via donations, Patreon members, YouTube members, and anyone else that wants to get involved with comments and helping. Thank you to everyone that goes the extra mile. Take care, and I will see you in the verse.